Hi, I'm Father Everett, Christ Church here in Tulsa, and this is our community garden. So the community garden got started about 7 years ago, and it was just something. We had all this land that was here, and we were trying to figure out ways in which to use it. And so some people said, what about a community garden? They had heard other places that had used that. And so we said, well, why not? And what's phenomenal is that it's not just Christ Church folks who are involved in this ministry. We have people who do not attend church here, who come and have adopted a spot and are planting things and are active. One of the ways in which the garden has kind of given back to the community is at various times of the year we'll sort of have like a Christ Church farmers market in the parish hall after church services, and people will come and pick up things that are, that were surplus goods and produce, fresh cut flowers, fresh vegetables, and we give that money back to the community, to like Iron Gate, which provides meals to Tulsa's Hungry 7 days a week. And so it's a way of just not only nourishing our souls, but it also nourishes the community.
Hi, my name's Andy Richardson, and I volunteer at the Christ Church Community Garden. This project started about 7 years ago, and at the time I was on the Bishop's Committee at Christ Church, and I happened to miss a meeting. And you know what happens when you miss a meeting? You get put in charge of something. And I got put in charge of the community garden here. This started with an Eagle Scout project by the nephew of two of our parishioners. And he decided to build raised garden beds for his Eagle Scout project. There are 3 beds over here, this U-shaped beds, and that was the beginning of Christ Church Community Garden. Since then, we've added about 20 additional beds for members of our community and for the greater community at large to come adopt a bed or adopt a planting space. We have 3 different seasons in our community garden. We have an early planting season where we can plant onions, potatoes, peas, and beets. And then we get into kind of the summer planting season where we have tomatoes, melons, peppers, all kinds of herbs, beans, and that's the season we're in right now. And then we're getting ready to kind of plan for our fall garden, where we'll do more root vegetables, more beans, some semi-hardy varieties that we can garden into the fall. So Lori Dysart's been with our community for a couple years now. Mm-hmm. She's also worked at St. Crispin's, and we're fortunate to have her back, but she is a dedicated steward of our community garden and brings a wealth of knowledge from Central Texas to things that we can grow around here.
So for me, the best part about the garden is it lets me connect back to the earth. I haven't lived in the city ever, except for the last couple years, and I really don't like it. I'm used to living in the country. I think for me, and probably for many, many, many others, one of the biggest problems we have with our culture is we're no longer connected with Mother Earth, So for me, especially right now during the pandemic, I don't have a yard. I come up here every day to attend to the garden and get my hands in the dirt. And there are some particular foods, like the blackberries. I planted those 2 years ago, and they take 2 years to bloom and fruit. So this is its 2nd year, and I've had, I don't even know how many pounds of blackberries, a lot, and probably another good 10 pounds to come. It's not finished. They're fantastic. In the spring, there are a couple of foods that I call holy food. Blackberry is one of them, but this year I grew snow peas, and they were very, very prolific. And I don't like them cooked, I don't like them frozen, so I gave everybody in the garden permission to just stand here and eat. And I would come up here and people would just be crunching on these beautiful little holy snow peas, It was really, really nice. So it's great fun to share, although I will say I get possessive about my tomatoes. So that's what it means to me. You know, I have a place to come. I have a place to connect with the earth, and I really enjoy growing my own food. I ate my last bag of black-eyed peas and fried okra about 2 weeks ago. So I've got more coming on, so it'll last me close to a year. You know, it's a good thing.
So this year has been very interesting due to the coronavirus. A lot of folks have been worried about, you know, their food supply. It's been interrupted. Also, they have a lot of extra time on their hands. So we've noticed that a number of people have become interested in growing their own food. And it's been a great experience for families. At the end of June, we invited families to come out and help pick potatoes and onions, and it was better than the best Easter egg hunt ever. There's nothing like watching a small child dig in the ground, get dirty, and pick up a pile of potatoes. So for the last couple of years, we've added bees to pollinate our garden. You can see they're pretty active right now. We also have been able to use our bees to make honey for our parishioners in our church. The great thing about bees is not only do they pollinate our garden, they fly in like a 2-mile radius of here, so they help pollinate this whole neighborhood, all of our community right here around Christ Church. I teach an adult formation Sunday school class here at Christ Church, and one of my favorite people, a woman named Connie Camp, was a regular in my Sunday school class. And she was aware of what I was doing with the garden, but she also complained on numerous occasions that I needed to plant milkweed to bring in the butterflies. I always neglected that, and unfortunately, Connie passed away a couple of years ago. But this year, I decided that I would not ignore Connie's voice any longer, and we have planted a pollinator butterfly garden with about 60 different perennial plants, all designed to be hosts and to provide nectar for monarchs and swallowtail butterflies. Based on the number of plants and the dimensions of our garden, we've also been certified as a Monarch Way Station here at Christ Church. So we're official, we're legit.